Kgosi FM. Yes.
And we
Monday.
Bara 7:30 ke 7:30.
Ke nako mfanak.
Exactly.
Yeah, ke nako.
Ritseni.
Re buile.
Welcome.
It's a Monday.
Exactly.
Yo.
Re thabela le mo. You are at the right place at the right time. Welcome to the political show.
On a Monday evening re buile.
Yes.
Re buile ke naba. Yeah, ma petla ke re so. Wena up ka tle pele man. O mang o ka motho ya mo. Yeah, re buile bana.
Exactly.
Wait again mfanaka. It's been a hectic week. Dumelang ba gaetsho dumela re kae. Kgosietsile my co-host today. I'll give me introduce.
Standard.
How am I going to do that every day like it's Monday?
Ke standard. No, at least for like a month.
Yeah,
You know, at
until
least
about
for a
12
month.
feel
And then ke tla rawa guys ke na khadile ntlwaetse mos.
Ra go bona re go tsebile re siame.
Ehe.
Okay, let's hope I get team volume ya wena. Ke bone bilo. Our streams are streaming very nice today ba gaetsho ne. Both Facebook and what you might call both Facebook and WhatsApp. I'm sorry man. YouTube. We are there. We are back again. Dumelang gape ke Kgosietsile ke na le Khadi. Hello Khad.
Hi, Kosi.
What am I, darling?
I am so happy to be here.
Yeah.
Another segment.
Ish wena.
And it gets better by the episode.
I know.
We were having so much fun in the last episode.
Yeah.
We kind of went over time.
Wena.
But if you're tuning in, you understand why.
Yes,
And a lot of
yes,
people
yes,
were
yes.
engaging, which was great.
Yeah.
And why?
Why no ntse
Why we extended, but re tlo ba gracious this time round and be punctual.
We'll try.
We're going to work. No time management.
Yeah.
Restricted ka yona.
Yes.
But thank you so much once again for having me. Dumelang to our listeners.
Yes. Who are you, Kana? Who this person is?
Once again, my name is Kgosietsile. For those who do not know me, that means you have not tuned in the previous two episodes. My question to you again, no legai.
No legai, Panak.
Marara forgive. You're here at this stage and we're happy to have you here.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the political show. I have the honor and the privilege of co-hosting with the incredible Kgosietsile. So I'm very happy to be here. As I shared before, I'm very passionate about two things, which are impact and public speaking.
Yes.
I am a graduate in the field of international relations and political sciences, and hence why we're here on the political show to amplify these conversations, to bring them to you.
Yes.
Whether you're South African or not, politics will follow you wherever you go.
Of course it will do that.
So it's very important that you engage in these conversations. Keep up with what's happening in your current affairs.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering if you're at the right place at the right time, on a Monday evening, at 7:30, I can guarantee you're at the right place.
Yeah.
Okay?
You should be here. All right, today we've got a line up and we're on the blind. Yeah, it's a good nobody tell more. We speak things as if it's not a joke as such. It's actually a reality.
100%.
Yeah, just say it. Our match, Kgosietsile TV, it's here. And t-shirt. I'm going to get it soon.
We're thinking,
very soon. You must represent
the merch, yes.
Must represent.
Soon enough.
So you want to say, you want a cap like this? You want a t-shirt like this? Give me a call. 064-548-776.
We'll plug you.
Yeah, I'll plug and find. How did I ring?
Yeah.
Jesus
You need to keep up with the Gen Z language. I'm going to teach you a thing or two, hey?
These kids. Yeah. All right. If you look at the bottom of your screen, if you are watching more Facebook, which is Segongoane, and you're watching on our YouTube page, the Kgosietsile on live show. I see people have tuned up. Go on to YouTube. Dumelang YouTubers. Hello.
Hi. Thank you
Please,
for joining.
let's comment.
Yes,
let's
engage.
Let's
throw
engage.
your questions, throw your commentary, throw your opinions.
Yes. So
we'll
today,
be keeping up with the comments.
Exactly. So today, refugees, they've spoken out. They've spoken out. I can't get the refugees. So
Yep.
the
Banale
first
refugee
interview.
status.
Yeah, the
They're
first
being
interview
persecuted.
went out and they interviewed one person who was live on camera, 5 minutes max. That's how important they are, by the way.
Yes.
And then the other one just gave a statement and that's it.
Yes.
And then we're going to play that.
Yes, but for those who are not tuned, just a quick summary. If you did not know, Rnale, 49 Afrikaners who
Yes.
have been granted refugee status
Yeah.
in the USA.
Yeah.
Took less than 3 months. They already accepted that side because they're being persecuted, because the farmers are being murdered,
Rababe,
and therefore they have landed that side. And we finally have feedback from one of the Afrikaners that
we're going
side.
to talk about that. Foreigners, in our public service. Last time we did a show about one of them, nursing manager ko Barakwana. He's from Ethiopia.
Okay.
The question was there any other no black South African who's going to be a nursing manager ko Batwajofa? This person So that was the question that came out. Was there ever never anybody who can do that job? Because remember, skills development, anything that is a rare skill, rare.
Yeah.
The big letters stand for rare.
R-A-R-E.
Exactly. Rare skills.
There's a lack.
Moto hana skill. Doesn't have a skill.
Yes.
Total. The whole country we searched. We couldn't find someone who can host the podcast. So somebody from Zimbabwe.
Edition.
Yeah. I tell them what host the podcast. Then that is the justification. That's what the law says.
Yes.
But I know a CFO who has been put out by the Tamaya because of the approach we had in this country, which we're going to talk about today. He was acting.
Yes.
You know about acting.
Yes, you need to be politically correct.
Yeah, as if they're making it better, you know.
Yes.
He was just acting. We don't care if he was acting.
He was running.
Naturalization, whatever. I don't give it. Yeah. We don't want that. Yeah. So, then we can the USA, South African University of Africa, we're going to hear what Malema says about that. And let me put in what you think, Khadi, about that one. I'm going to have my own opinion about that.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what's happening. Because it's getting rabu too much, Mari. Yeah. And then comes Elia. We're going to touch on that little bure thing.
100%.
Yeah. There's a camp uncovered here in Johannesburg.
Yes.
Where they're training young kids, young bures to be terrorists
in
this country. So we're going to have that.
It's vile.
We're going to have that and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah. And you'll want to tune in for all of that.
Yes. And then from there, in the we'll talk about that in a brief. But how about the whole video? I've done a video, I think.
Yes.
It's here on our YouTube page, and then we'll link the link thing in
Yes.
Please comment comment and tell us what you think about
Just
today's show.
Share your opinion, share your thoughts. Even if it's like, I agree. Or like, you're right. I disagree.
Like that. Yeah.
Something.
Say it. Say wherever. Like every Monday. It's fine.
Yes.
Constructive criticism.
We fully receive.
Yeah. All right. Before I'm a sponsor.
Okay.
Advert. This show is brought to you by Segongoane Medical Services and Clinic. They are a private clinic situated in number 70 Kgosietsile in Westview, Danville. They specialize on the following: primary health care, ailment diagnosis and treatment, including medication, wound care, family planning, well baby clinic, basic ultrasound, laboratory blood services, treatment of chronic illnesses, treatment and management of patients on ARVs, wellness screening, antenatal clinic, HIV services and counseling. They have a pharmacy on site and they are doing CCMDD services as well, OHS clinic, circumcision clinic and abortion services. Their cell phone number is 064 548 7176 or 071 422 8576. Again, the address is 70 Kgosietsile in Westview, Pretoria West in Danville. Cell phone number again is 064 548 7176 or 071 422 8576.
Yes.
All right, this is the Kgosietsile live show, and that was our sponsor for today, Segongoane Medical Services and Clinic. So, Bon, how about today medical aid? They only receive cash, and then how about you go and consult, and then they'll give you your services. But they don't take cash. Okay, I mean, so they don't take medical aid. They only take. I'm going to be fired. They only take cash. They only take cash for our consultation, and if you need a doctor's note, and if you're in need of one, it will be discretion of the doctor there. He will give it to you.
Yes.
So you don't have to pay 750 or more, but okay, 750, but you including medicine and panel allergics, and then those things can buy them for like $50, both of them, by the way.
Yeah.
So, but bona, like I want 350 fella consultation, then it's done.
Yes, come through.
Yes, come through. So on medical services and clinic, Mabona number 702 Fengesgras in Westview, Denville, Pretoria West. Yeah. Okay, anyway,
I think the video will start us off really well by giving us context.
Yes.
So yes, as we said before, the Afrikaner has landed in the USA, and we're therefore getting a feel of the experience, how it is.
Yeah.
And for those who do not know, Ramaphosa called them cowards, which is one of the most bold statements by our president, which needed to be said, because if you have issues in your country, you deal with them. Not to say that they actually are dealing with the issues, because it's make-believe, but this video will give you context.
Yeah. Okay, but before I go Tenko, let me just remind you, please subscribe and like and share our content, and please subscribe to our channel, like, share the content. At least we can make this as big as we can.
Yeah.
This podcast must be all over the place.
Exactly.
Yeah. Look Facebook. While you must always just go press the follow button.
Yes.
I've got 4.2 followers, by the way, on Facebook. I don't know where they come from.
That's good though. That's good.
Is it?
They just need to tune in. 100%.
Well, so anyhow, it's not a big thing. We'll see as time goes on what's happening.
Yes.
But Bona, Khadi, thank you so much, and welcome everybody who's listening now. www.kgosiefm.co.za, and those who are listening now on www.segongoane.holdings, those who are /KgosiefM/, and those listening again, Bashividan live on YouTube now, the Kgosietsile live show, and my Facebook page, Kgosietsile. We thank you so much, and we appreciate you. So, yeah, that's the one.
Let's hear what the feedback is saying. It's so funny. There's a comment that I heard, Iri. This is the most overweight refugees that we've ever seen. Because by healthy, when you hear refugee, you expect to see Tokolo, you know? And these people are they are ship shape.
Not somebody who lives a 5-bedroom house. You're living in a 5-bedroom house. You're leaving your dogs.
Yes.
You're leaving your mother.
What a soft life.
Like, what kind of a refugee are you going to leave your own mother?
What comfort.
I mean, you guys are being killed in South Africa, by the way, right? That's
Apparently.
what you're telling us. So how the hell do you leave your mother behind and run to America?
Exactly.
And then you say, no, Trump, I'm here. Please help me out.
Greener pastures. And then you'll find out for yourself. And I guess we'll see in a year's time.
Yeah.
Because the commentary also going around is, how long are these people actually going to last?
Yeah.
And a lot of South Africans are hoping that they actually do not come back. Because...
Me too. I'm one of those. No, I'm saying, if you take it further, they must revoke the citizenship. Must be revoked immediately.
And apparently, there's this critical thing where if you decide to go that side,
you're not going to be one of us anymore.
It's done.
I think we've got a comment. I don't know if you're going to see on
check it out.
on YouTube just now. We just got a comment now. So please, we've forgot to this thing.
Sure.
The number is still 064 548 776 069 692 488. This is Kgosi FM coming to you live on www.kgosiefm.co.za. Today's a political show, man. 2 hours of politics now in the studio. Yes. By the way, we're going to have the Bokotos of Denville. Got a second. I want to talk about the foreigners. We're going to be putting them in, and then we're going to be talking to them tonight. They were telling us what's happening. What are they saying about the these foreigners who are in the public service? We're going to read their names out, and then they're going to tell us they've got a campaign called Denville Clinic, by the way, locally here, that they're refusing each and every foreigner to come into Danville to come and get a service there. You know what?
Yes,
Yeah. So we're
so
going
we're
to
gonna
talk
get
to
into
them, but it was a live. I don't know commentary.
Okay, a comment from Tato Williams. I actually know her. Shout out to you, Tato. Thank you for the comment. I really wonder what President Ramaphosa and President Donald Trump are going to discuss on Wednesday.
Yeah.
On how they are going to resolve the whole refugee confusion, which I also am quite curious. How is this going to unfold?
Yeah.
But as we discussed in the previous episode, Trump is very well aware.
Yes.
And the commentary that's going around is, if this was a political stunt, then this is going to end at the 49. Because people are chilling. You know, you don't want to be on the first flight to arrive. Then you realize it's not looking good. Then you're like, hey, I changed my mind. I'm actually going to stay, right?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it's going to be, I don't know, enlightening. We'll see if there's going to be any change.
Let's talk about that after this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to play this video. Come on. Who's the name? I see the name, but I can't read.
The name of the comment.
Yeah, the name of the commenter.
Oh, commenter. Tato Williams.
All right. Thank you, Tato, for that comment,
Thank
man.
you, Tato.
We'll answer you fully after this one.
Yeah, keep them coming.
I don't know this person.
This week, a group of 59 white South Africans arrived in the US, where they've been granted refugee status. President Trump says the refugee applications were expedited because the people concerned were victims of racial discrimination, something South Africa's government denies. The Afrikaners are descended from Dutch settlers who arrived 4 centuries ago to South Africa and who led the government which brought in apartheid, a racially segregated political system which has led to discrimination against black South Africans, and it's no longer in force. Well, usually it takes years for the US government to process refugee applications, but this group waited only 3 months. Well, our North America correspondent Nomia Iqbal has been speaking to one of those who made the journey.
If you're white, you're wrong in South Africa. You're a land thief, you are a racist. The whole time it's being told, and there is racist white people, plenty of them.
You say you're not a racist white person?
No, not at all. I've got many black friends. I think I've got more African black men as friends as white friends. I'm tired of being told, just because I'm white, I'm a thief. Just because I'm white, I'm wrong in this. I had nothing to do with apartheid. Nothing.
Is there anything specific that's happened, Charles, that made you think, I've got to get out of here? I've got to leave?
After the death rates and stuff and my machinery being cut up, and I'm still, after reporting everything to the police, not getting any protection or anything like that, the only thing that's left on my farm is a sign that says mining area. All the fences has been taken off, boom gates has been broken off.
There are voices out there, including the South African president, who has called you cowards.
Yeah.
You've got other Afrikaners who are saying that you're not refugees, you're opportunists, that you've abandoned the country. What would you say to those people?
I had to leave a 5-bedroom house, which I will lose now because I'm not going to pay for it, behind, my car behind, my dogs behind, my mother behind. It is not, I didn't come here for fun, but my children are safe.
What was it like when you got off the shuttle bus and came into that hangar and were greeted by the Trump administration?
It was overwhelming. I didn't expect that because I thought we're going to be in a shuttle bus, taken somewhere, and we must start working. All of us that is there, we know we're going to start here from the bottom because we are the new people here. We're going to start from the bottom.
Do you ever worry that you might be caught up in some big political game here? That you're a pawn somehow?
Yeah, it's a scary thing, but people mustn't think we're just taking advantage of this. We're coming here to make a contribution to the country.
Old tweets of yours have been dug up in which you appear to have made anti-Semitic comments, and so people are questioning, should you be here? What would you say to that?
I would like them...
What would you like to clarify?
I've deleted the comment. But I was actually thinking I should have not deleted it. If you can look where I commented on, it was Passover, the Orthodox Jews, and I'm Christian. We're spitting and screaming and bumping Christians walking with the cross. For me as a Christian, that is not acceptable. In Israel, and I went and I said something on Twitter, which I copy and pasted from somebody else's page, because if you go read my post, you'll see It's not the way I write.
So you had quoted someone else. I mean, the quotes...
I copied and pasted it.
The quotes were anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
They said Jews are dangerous people, they're untrustworthy, they're not God's chosen
because I was
people.
super angry too.
So you did it out of anger?
Yeah. And I was in hospital at that point of time. I was on morphine. But that's not an excuse. I'm not trying to make an excuse.
Do they?
Even now, if I would see any person going against my religion, I will speak up against it.
You have high hopes being here in America. Is there a part of you that is anxious that it might not work out?
No, to be honest with you, because of my belief, I believe this is God's plan for me.
Okay.
All right.
Let's take you now across our borders.
Shut up.
It's an interesting one.
I get another comment. I don't need you to start like I've got a lot of comments.
There's a lot. For one, we are not disregarding the fact that yes, there has been murders of farm workers, right? Yeah. But the term that is being used is white genocide.
Yes.
Right? And that's what we're disputing, right? And this use of religion, they use religion so much as a front, as a way we're taking and it lines very well with the farmlands, which we're going to get into.
Yeah.
But I kind of have a question before we dissect it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
There's the assumption that this is two ways, one of two ways, right? It's a cowardly move of them wanting to move out of a place of privilege, right? Yeah. They used to comfort 5-bedroom house, mpia, mama, farmlands. It seems very comfortable where they are, right? So it could be a cowardly move of just the American dream, right?
Yes.
Or it's going to be greener pastures on that side instead of dealing with the issues within our country. For one, do you feel like it's a cowardly move?
Yeah.
Or number two, an effort to seek an economic advantage, all right? Because there's also the notion that it's going to be better that side, all right? Because racism is also there, America. And with Donald Trump being a white supremacist, it is highly likely that there is a degree of comfort that side, but it's not to say it's going to be as comfortable as here, right? So, my question, if people are in the comments, do you feel like it's a cowardly move or a strategic move for their advantage in some way economically?
All right. Can I talk now?
Yes. Get into it.
Let's go. Number 064-548-776 on a comment WhatsApp. Please send us a voice note, whatever.
Send it through.
And then we'll play it. And then I want to go for the roble. What you think.
We're happy to engage.
And thank you for the comment. I'll go YouTube now. Williams.
Tato
Williams. Thank you, sir. All right. It was a cowardly move. Right? More Rebuaka people who have held their boots on our necks for over 3 centuries. Okay, they've been the number one of the South African. You know, sometimes I do this thing at school. Rebuaka people who had the government from 1910 till now. 1948, they created a system called apartheid as a law. That simply simple saying, one, a black person can never be the same as a white person, ever, in everything. That was a law.
Yeah.
Number two, a black person can never own land in their own country. That is the law. A black person cannot stay next to a white person ever. That is the law. A black person can never shop in the same shop as a white person. That is the law.
Yes.
A black person cannot marry a white person by any means necessary. That is the law. A black person can never be seen in town or in a suburb after 6 o'clock in the evening, or else they'll be whipped, arrested, or otherwise.
100%.
The law. It was on paper, it was written, signed by the president, and published as a law of this country. The same person, here now, to their ring, being white is wrong. Yes, it is definitely wrong. Because you people lived your lives in that comfort, in that supremacy for years.
Yeah.
We never said, 94 happened, it never said to them, listen, now you're chasing our way, go away. Like I told you earlier, our colonization is of another kind. They never left.
Yeah.
Others from Zimbabwe to up there, they left. You know, there's no white person in Zimbabwe parliament now. Botswana, Mozambique, none. They're gone. They are here to still come and tell me, no, but you cannot make me uncomfortable in my own thing.
Yes.
On Twitter, they will say to you, no, we voted yes, guarantee to. I'm like, you voted yes to a system that you created.
Yeah.
I can't praise you for that. And I can't applaud you for that.
Yes.
You create a system of apartheid to destroy me.
Yes.
And then when you see that you cannot sustain it anymore, you vote yes to him. And he knows exactly how to play in the gallery. He knows exactly how to play in the sympathies of a white supremacist.
Yes.
Because they think they are right.
Yeah.
They think they've got the God-given right to exist above everybody else.
Exactly. And they've seen how Trump himself is also big on religion and how he's trying to save the white Christians, specifically the white Christians.
My question, Kihori, which God are they praying to?
That's my question.
Like that God that tells them you are more special than this person. Who is that God?
And if the principle is that God is love, and the first commandment of love your neighbor as yourself. Okay, love God obviously primarily.
Yes.
And then secondly, love your neighbor as yourself. There is no clause or subtitle or subsection that says love your fellow white neighbor.
Well, they could not share church with us.
There was no
even
way.
now today.
Yes.
The moment you go to a school, the moment you go Kiro, we tell not to go courses and then they start having saying we've got an English and Afrikaans class.
Yeah.
That's what you call subtle racism. You young minds do not know that, unfortunately. You don't know that, right? They know this is subtle racism. That's how they start dividing children from the very young age.
Yes.
Barbari is about language. It's not about language. It's about you don't want black kids to mix with white kids.
We want to keep an Aryan race.
Exactly.
We want to keep it as pure and as clean as possible.
Yes.
And going back to the topic of religion, the churches in America are also onto this system and how it is focusing or prioritizing the white Afrikaners.
Yeah.
If it was, can you talk about how the statistics point to black people be experiencing more violence and a killing compared to the white Afrikaners,
yes.
right?
Yes.
However, when it's time for refugee statuses, we're giving favoritism to the white Afrikaners. So there's a letter from the presiding bishop, Sean Rowe, on...
Episcopal again.
Yes.
They actually cancelled their contract, by the way.
Really?
They no longer want to do this thing because they are the only church that was given grants by the government of US to relocate each and every refugee. Whenever refugees come from Sudan, they were taken to that church.
Yes.
That church will take the money that Trump gives them or the government of the US gives them, and then they will be able to distribute and make, give people houses and whatnot.
Sure. Receive preferential treatment over many others who have been waiting in refugee camps or dangerous conditions for years. I am saddened and ashamed that many of the refugees who are being denied entrance to the United States are brave people who worked alongside our military in Iraq and Afghanistan and now face danger at home because of their service in our country.
Yes.
I also grieve that victims of religious persecution, including Christians, have not been granted refugee in recent months.
Exactly. Because they're not black. Yes. They're not white. That is why. The thing at Trump that he was so dumb about was to take Elon Musk's word and to take Twitter as a main source of information.
As it is.
Yeah, Twitter buzz, we exposed him to
without
last week.
backing up the facts, without looking at statistics, without going further and checking the articles and asking the president himself and saying, what's happening that side?
And he's still, even, there was another interview at Air Force One. Why do you prioritize? No, they are being killed. Do you have any? But there's no proof. No, you don't want to report about it. You people, you don't want to report about it. But there is genocide in South Africa. Genocide there is proven genocide in Gaza by denier. There's proven genocide in Sudan. They deny it. Congo. All these other hot areas in this country. The people, Episcopal Church, they actually went further and say there is hundreds of refugees that are in the system. That are in camps waiting to be deported, to be taken to the US today. But then the man comes in, shuts the whole thing down. Oh, no, white people are being killed in South Africa. Let them come. Because Elon Musk gave him 250,000.
It was so speedy. It was so urgent. It's like when it comes to this, our people,
No.
we're not going to compromise.
Yeah, we have to jump and say, you know.
We will change the policies or make reparations, make exceptions,
Yeah.
because these are the white supremacists.
Yeah, there's another comment.
Okay.
And I think if Fruzy, like the same one last week. 064-548-776. That's our WhatsApp number. You want to talk to us right now live on Kgosi FM. www.kgosiefm.co.za. Send us your WhatsApp note, your voice note, your WhatsApp comment. What do you think about today's topic?
So we have a comment from Frenzy Valorous. It is a cowardly move. The use of religion was used to outline the brutality and evil of apartheid.
Yes.
The Afrikaner government called it apartheid friendly neighborliness.
Yes.
So it's the way they tweak what's in the Bible, what is said, and they say, no, it's friendly neighborliness. This is how we use the Bible, or this is how we love people.
Yeah.
There's this way of, no man, they don't use it as it is. They like, I see what this verse says. I'm going to tweak it in a way that works for us.
Sheba, in that video, Ella, these boys that have been trained into being this whatever that they are now. You'll hear those people back quote somebody from a slave time in the US.
Yeah.
Describing us as we have small brains.
Yes.
We have small brains.
They said that black people have the IQ of a 14-year-old white boy.
So you should look at a black person not as a person, but as a child and all that. Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, that is then like interpretation, because they thought they were better than anybody else.
Yeah.
Just because you come to me wearing pants and I'm wearing a skirt, or I'm wearing siope, or I'm wearing matlalarina, doesn't mean that I'm lower than you in civilization. That means your civilization says you must wear pants. Mine said I must dress like that.
Yes.
That's how it is. So Bonnet, they came this white supremacy. No. Whatever that's not English, it's not civilization.
Yes.
That is why they thought they're clever than us.
They brought their own version of civilization, and now we have to accommodate that.
Adapt to that.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. So the Episcopal Church, thank God, they actually stopped the grant. They said
for years. Yeah. For quite some time. And then you find Afrikaners where a tweet goes out and say, oh, they're being killed. There's a white genocide. Okay, let's jump. Let's make sure. It's usually years, but for them, let's prioritize 3 months. Make it make sense. It's pretty clear. And again, going back to Tata Williams' comment, it definitely makes me wonder, how's this conversation going to go about? Because will this man ever admit that he's very much a white supremacist?
No,
that
he won't.
literally what he's doing. And if they were to ever call him out and say 3 months for the white Afrikaners, but years for any other person, how do you justify that?
I know they just happen to be white, but they've been killed. That's how he says. Yeah. Anyhow, I'm going to give you this video.
Oh, such a tragedy.
Yeah, let's look at before we can go there. Okay. A refugee, somebody who doesn't have anything. Like anything. The guy left a 5-bedroom house. He left his dogs, he left his cars, he left the mother. And he was staying in a farm where there was a mine on that farm, by the way.
Yes.
So tell me, didn't this person moneyed? He just wanted to get like citizenship of the US to go stay there. And even all these things coming up, the government of the US doesn't do anything. They just still remember and say, no, they've been killed.
Yeah.
So now we're going to look at the very people who have been persecuted in this country. I did a video about that today.
Yes,
yesterday,
please check it out.
I'm gonna play it. It's 10 minutes, but I'm going to play a little bit and we'll see.
Yeah, maybe like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then maybe what they do to our flag. And then tell me if these are the very people that we really want in this country. They can go. All of them. They can leave. Yes. I'm sorry, but they're not human beings.
Yes.
All right. So
in this video, it basically shows how they socialize
their own
kids
children.
for their own children from a very young age.
Yeah.
And I want us to get into the definition of socialization, because you really can brainwash your kids in what you instill from a very young age. I remember there's a I don't know if it was a project or something that they did where it was a white and a black child in one room.
Yeah.
They get along easily, very well.
They don't
and
see
it's
color.
perfectly fine.
Yes.
And then you come, the parent hore A, B, C, and D, just know hore, oh yeah, you guys are not on the level. All of a sudden, how about
Exactly.
all of a sudden. So it's instilled from a very young age, and it's foul.
Yeah. Well, let's look at this video now. Remember, the number is still 064548176. Please talk to us on WhatsApp, on YouTube. Thank you so much for the comments. Let them keep on coming. Please don't forget to subscribe and like and share the thing, the whole video, so that you can be able to. Whenever I talk about these people, I get so excited.
But it's tragic. It's so tragic.
But let's take a look at this.
Nasionale Saluit!
In the middle of a field, northwest of Johannesburg, a group of young Afrikaner boys has arrived for a very different kind of boot camp.
All right. Sorry about that. It will come back.
Yes.
Yeah, it will come back.
These things happen. But there's something that I want to highlight. We're going to get into the video once it continues to play. But there's certain things that they speak about or highlight blatantly. And it says, he told us to choose this flag. So in this video, they show the difference between our current South African flag and their previous one, which makes sure that it does not encapsulate every single race, because obviously there's white, black, the South African flag, all these other colors. Why do we have diversity and include it in this flag? We will not accept it. And
but like I was saying, I did a video on this, offline video on this one. So if you wanna watch it, you can go watch it on my page. I'll link the description below, and then can be just be able to go and do it, guys. Because of I get gear from we'll come back to it in a minute. But this video about how young Afrikaner boys are being indoctrinated into hate, they've been trained to actually be ready for any civil war that's gonna come. They've been trained into fighting, hating black people. They've been trained and told our ears are very sensitive, so that's why you need to clap me on my ears or slap me on my ears and I'll fall down. They've been told that my lips are thicker. Imagine an old man.
If anything, it's a flex for black people to be like, we have such voluptuous features.
You know, he's telling young kids that their lips are thicker,
and
the ears are curled
and
up and whatnot.
It's like you're describing deformed features.
It's an ear.
As if it's like less than, as if it justifies you being more than and me being less than.
Ear. It doesn't matter how shaped. We have different kinds of ears. My ears are up there. Other ones are small. Other ones are. It's ears. It's not like we don't have ears and they do. So that's how different you're gonna be. So that is what they're saying. So please, I want to.
We're gonna get into it, but because we're not gonna play also the whole video, I want to highlight specific things that we said. There we go.
Let's go back to it.
In the middle of a field, northwest of Johannesburg, a group of young Afrikaner boys has arrived for a very different kind of boot camp.
In die Bybel staan, swart mense moet by swart mense bly en wit mense moet by wit mense bly. Jy kan nie saam met 'n volk saam met mekaar bykom nie. Ek het nie swart vriende nie. As hulle na my kant toe kom en hulle vra vir my, kan ek met jou gesels, dan sê ek nee. Of ek sal net my rug draai en ek sal loop.
Dion Barnard, also known as Sparky, is 15. This is his first experience of commando camp.
Dit is meer van selfverdediging. As hulle sê die swart mense nou wit mense aanval, dan tree die AWP in om te sê julle moet uitgaan uit ons land, uitgaan uit ons gebied uit of ons skiet op julle.
Here are Dion's mum and dad.
Nou die AWB staan vir
I think this another call for now. All right, but we apologize for that.
Apologies. But what is said basically, there's certain lies that I want to share with us. It says that he told us we are superior and blacks are inferior. That blacks have the mind of a 14-year-old white boy.
Who are still running and say, oh, Reina, hey, we are victims of this, victims of that. There is nothing like that.
Yeah. And it also says a lot about, I wish I could also go to the comments of certain people, like actual Afrikaners in the comment section saying that I'm an Afrikaner, but you won't see me taking the first flight to the USA because it's ridiculous. Fine, violence is everywhere. Every single country has crime.
Yes.
So we're not going to insist and say that this is a white genocide and therefore I'm going to now claim refugee status just because of this. If your fellow white South Africans are also standing by the fact that this is not a white genocide, white Afrikaners are not being intentionally persecuted, then it says a lot about, to the degree that this is purely lies. It's fictitious.
It is. It is. So I'm going to try to see if you can get that little clip in a black person.
But essentially, I wanted to give the definition of this because I feel like what encapsulates this video in essence is socialization, right? Socialization refers to the process through which individuals acquire social behaviors, norms, and values from various social agents such as families, schools, peers, and mass media. And in this case, it's their own parents
who are doing this,
that are influencing this.
Yeah. So
we're not saying it's school systems.
So now I do blame parents. Shame. If you are a parent and your son is in this camp,
sure,
you're not born. This actually shows why apartheid lasted for so long and why racism came from. Because you are being racist. There is no way. So you're
not born racist.
Yeah, you teach your kids to be racist.
You get socialized, you get programmed into it, and now it influences you, and now you obviously inherit the anger or the superiority complex towards the next race.
Yeah. All right, let's play the last one. And I do apologize again. We do apologize again for not playing the whole thing for you, but it's fine. When, like I said, you want to see the whole video, it's there on a video step.
Commando korps te word, een van die lid daar, soos 'n sergeant of iemand.
Niemand sal ons dwing om onder hierdie vlag te staan nie.
Ons boere soek ons vryheid, ons boere soek ons volksstaat. Ons boere soek ons vryheid, ons boere soek ons volksstaat. Brand, bliksem, brand! Brand, bliksem, brand!
Brand, bliksem, brand. Burn, busted, burn.
If it's about kwata pinele amalima.
Harry killed the boy.
We can't say that.
This one.
But anyways, wrong. We're not moving forward.
At the moment, that's what brought us to this place today. I'm telling you now. This thing of, hey, let's not be like them. Mandela himself, when he left to go to MK, you know what he said? His last interview before he was arrested the following day, he said, what is the point of always negotiating peace and non-violence with a government that is responding with violence to us? So what one?
Yes.
This whole thing, when Pila supposed to turn the other cheek, it's gone. It's gone. Do you know what they do over weekends?
What did they do?
Go to any gun range.
Oh my God.
Go to any gun range and you'll see who do you find there who are learning to shoot?
Yeah.
And then they're learning to shoot and then, just go the NC.
While us black peoples are just chilling.
TikTok. They're training their own kids. Indoctrinating them from this boy's gonna grow up effed up with blind. He will never see a black person as a human being.
Like they actually equipping them to be such dictators, like authoritarians.
No, to be racist.
Yeah.
Dictator is something else. Racist from a very young age.
And imagine as it builds up, he just grew up being resentful towards this race just because that's what I was taught.
Yeah. And then from there, we must. Sure, 22 minutes after 8.
We need to move on. So I wanted to quickly wrap up with what is being said also by the American news, right? So it says that South Africa today is not apartheid in reverse, because what they feel right now is that you guys are doing the same thing that we were doing to you. It's not Hold on.
Oh.
Hold on. So it's hard. So what they're doing is that it's the hard, necessary work of repair, justice, and democracy, trying to right what was very wrong for more than 300 years. And I loved what you said in the previous episode of what equity looks like. It's a race of different races going. The white person, laps. Colors, laps.
Indians.
When I'm talking blacks, and then to rectify it is not to say no, it's to say the black people run those laps, make up for all the time that you were surpassed to try and catch up, and then we let the Indians, and then we let the colors, and then we let the white people run, right?
Then they all run at the same time.
Yeah. So my question is there a silver lining? I know my co-host over here is going to say no. There is no silver lining.
I trust you can understand. If you just maybe explain to me what silver lining is all about, King. Compromise again.
I am going to play devil's advocate and share this. Right? This is also what's been said in the streets. It's just an opinion. And you people in the comments can say whether you agree or disagree.
Yes.
Is there a silver lining, right?
Yes.
So the silver lining here is that people are truly involved in South African affairs right now.
Yeah.
Right? They're aware that there is no South African genocide that's happening. If anything, they're realizing that the true genocide that's happening in this world is Gaza.
Yeah.
In here, because people are really invested. People are really doing the research and realizing that no, man, like, where are the killings happening? Because there is no evidence. They'll find maybe one article, one tweet at Twitter bus, and it ends there, right? So I feel like to a degree, with people actually knowing what's happening in the country, people will be involved. And I don't know, maybe somehow through media, it will help us. And people will realize that one, but we shall see how far that goes. But please do throw in your comments.
Yeah.
And we shall see.
I have a WhatsApp now from Osbornang, the one who's going to be speaking to now in a minute. Arenete and a black and as blacks, when we try to do the government empowerment of our people with weapon camps, they were busy tagging government and SCPS to look at us. So when they try to do the very same what they're doing now, they were sent by the police. Police were sent and it was wrong. But for gun ranging, every weekend, just go and see.
Yeah.
You will see people they're sitting there, they're learning to shoot. From a young child being taught how to shoot a gun.
Yeah.
Babarke protection. But now when you do the same thing, we have been
it's a problem.
So illegally this and that. I said it like in my video. You need to empower. I don't care who says what. We need to take up arms as black people.
Yeah.
It's about time. You need to take up arms. You need to fight this thing. Because there's a war coming before us, which is true.
Yeah.
Fact. Be they big ignorant people there's a war coming. These people never accepted the fact that we took them out of power.
Sure.
They still believe they are our bosses. They still believe for a black person can never speak to it. Get a medical checks. Go one of the gyms, Centurion.
Yeah.
So the rule is they must bring an ID.
Yeah.
So the guy comes, has her ID. They're okay, where's the ID? I don't know, but you can see me. I don't see you. I want your ID. Yeah, you're cheeky. I'm like, don't ever say to me I'm cheeky because you used to say that to my mother. Don't you dare say to cheeky. You say that to my mother and father in your garden, in your and king in your kitchen. Do not dare say to me. I'm telling you, I want an ID. Now, if you don't have an ID, move.
Yo.
Done. Yeah.
Yo, man. and they're very quick to say angry black people.
Yeah.
You know? And my question is, why would the black person not be angry when they know the experience of their descendants and their ancestors and their forefathers?
What do you expect us to do?
What do you expect?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not condoning that we stay angry for the rest of our lives, right? Yeah. Acknowledge the pain and the hurt and how it made you feel. But if somebody is still triggered to a degree especially because of it still persists till this very day, it's hard to hear a person saying words like, don't be angry, or is it because of your black, or any racist comment is definitely triggering.
Why shouldn't I be? You came to my country, you put your boot on my neck forever, you made me a slave. The moment I get out of that I mustn't be angry.
Yeah.
I want to tell. I don't tell her no. Yeah, I was trying to play a song, man. Get a 2-minute break, but it's fine. Because I want us to go to move. Guys, tell us what you think about this nonsense. What do you say? Tell us. Comments, please. WhatsApp. Send it to us. 0645487176 and 069692478. Send us now. Voice notes now. Your WhatsApps. Tell us. Next one. Foreigners. Let's go to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, hey, yeah. We're gonna have two sides to the story.
Yeah, 2 minutes if and
just
and
a young break. Get your water. Refresh yourself.
Yeah. And then the and then the connector us bonang from Progressive Forces member that one kimangana wena musically ke us bonang ki
aus bonang. We're happy to have you here, aus bonang. Please.
No, it's 3 of them.
It's
3 of them.
Okay.
Yes, it's 3 of them. So
happy to have all of them here.
They're gonna be doing that. So they'll be giving us this juice.
Yeah.
I think maybe just to save time, let's just go into it. Summer now, refit. It's fine. Aye, shut up. Not fun. So I'm not gonna do that. Okay, fine. Bon. There have been reports, Outlam. There have been reports that there have been foreigners who have been hired in our public system.
Yes.
Most of the time, they will be hired to coach Investis Arena.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go to that screen. I'm gonna connect us bona now. Uska Huentlele Mema Barkimankanomungo. Yeah, the ring. I'm gonna connect them now. They will tell us people what is happening. Osbona Dumela. Oh, I said it. Osbonang. Hello. Oh, I wanna.
We need to wait for the connection. Okay, but for
okay, it's fine.
Before we get into it, I wanna just give like a bit of context, right?
Yeah.
So what we're discussing right now in our second segment is that the viewpoint of foreigners, however, specifically foreigners who have gotten citizenship, right?
Why
being given
foreigners.
Okay, foreigners.
Citizenship or not?
Okay, foreigners. Okay, let's focus on foreigners, right?
Okay.
So
okay. Oh, hello. Hello. Oh, I'm going to do that on a normal call because I wanted to do a conference.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. So the public sector, right? So just to give you like context so that we all, are learned and understanding of certain terminologies, right? So the primary purpose of the public sector, right, is to serve the public interest.
Shame.
It's to serve the public interest by providing.
Okay, all right, Doc.
Maybe we got to go na mangu ka letlhale kae?
Kinda bonang ke moagi wa mo Denville mo Ward 60. Ke member of Progressive Forces of South Africa, which is a civil movement that is advocating for Black South Africans. I'm a national organizer of the movement.
All right. So, Bonang, you've been involved in this thing at the foreigners. From the beginning. What do you think about, because now, let me just go to the screen, people can see. We have a list here of people that were hired in our system, in our universities, especially universities. What is your take on that, sisters? And then, what you guys are doing, and how is the progress and how's everything coming?
Dr. Kgosietsile, one of this thing, migration.
Yeah.
It's a global ideology that is currently being practiced in South Africa, meaning Rona as a South African, the testing ground for the world. They got this thing, release identity.
Yeah.
They are actually dissolving who we are as South Africans.
Okay.
When you look at it and then you dig deeper into it, it's still about the land. But if you remember, the xenophobic attack people who were crying and going to the street, they were people that we call Cody level entry jobs. The qualification, our school dropout or those with matrix. And then I'm talking about the middle class then. Now I was still go school.
Yes.
They were told they must go back to school, they must go and study and things like that so that they can get offices. Why are they trying to be the domestic worker or to work in farms? Now when you look how far from 2008 until now, it's over a decade.
Yeah.
They have now penetrated the middle class. Yes. They are now replacing South Africans with those qualifications in the middle class. Now, Baba Bita Baraki, the internalization. I can really Malobaha say about question about the university.
Yeah.
Why? And then about the 10% cap. How are you focusing on a 10% cap? Institutions are there, and that the people that were previously disadvantaged are still struggling to make ends meet. So ukonobona fela how lebella taba ya di wef o lebella tla ba tsa di globalization gore actually South Africa is testing ground. And then it will in essence us as South Africans we are still sleeping on the ideology. We hear people who support the Red Party who Pan-Africanism.
Yeah.
But when you look, they don't even see the hint from their own leaders. There was a time when Fletchy Vamba the Red Party keeper Karl Marx. Karl Marx is a European, he's a white person.
Yeah.
Sure.
The Pan-African ideology is the ideology of Karl Marx. What does it have to do with anything African? So more never South Africa, we have beautiful hearts, especially as Black South Africans. I remember not growing up, men never acceptable Zimbabwe, yes, that's how we used to call them. Yes. How about as now anywhere to go, they will be given food, a place to stay. I carry as Black South Africans. Little did we know, the system, they're still testing, and then after more you can even look for how this thing Johannesburg or it's abroad.
Yes.
These people are there even in the desert, like Northern Cape. When as a South African, you don't even think of let me go and stay in Northern Cape because you know it's dry. Deep in there. So replacement of the natives. In the future, I can South African women. In the future, how they are only if you level this thing, the Afrikaners and what with the white people, Europeans, especially the politicians in the Europeans and Americans, they started questioning how did it happen that out of nowhere the population in South Africa from 29 million in 1994. It has now all of a sudden increased to 62 million. DNA should be conducted. These people are way ahead of us. Why are they asking that question? South Africans to prove that we are a native South African, we must do DNA tests. So how do South Jerry South Jerry know that are on their 20s? It means maybe immediately when we got independence in 1990s South Africa, but they are in their 20s. How about you already DNA tested when you are going to look, it's already 90% or 80% Nigerian, 10% South African DNA test. How will that child stand on the ground and say, this is our country, this is my land? That person doesn't have any leg to stand on. And then we live in Gaza, Palestine. In Gaza, the Israelites that have went to Palestine in 1970s, a refugee. DNA is banned in Israel because it will show these people they are from European genes.
Of course.
That is why there's no. That is why there's no. That is why in Israel they don't allow DNA.
Yeah.
But Runa, because our leaders have failed us. Our leaders, but it's for now. They are not securing. Even our traditional leaders, Hanaya no babambela mthetho. I grew up going and Rego clinic in Rebone for what we can do. We engage the facility manager, Ramotor, why we want to do what we are doing, and then he called his superiors, engage Lebona, and then the operation resumed. Today it was our day 48, which we believe is bearing result, because today we only turned away, I think, 4 or 5 foreigners who came. And then the other thing that we noticed on our first days is that there were foreigners that were coming as far as Osloras, Oliven, coming to clinic here. So meaning for those people, Q-ness that I'm gating mola is like a roboton ela
yes.
But it's no longer that long, like ekatehile. Last week there was a guy, I think the one who takes the stats and clinic. We passed us there, but we didn't know who he is. When he came out, he stopped and said, "Guys, there's a huge difference." I was even surprised. The stats is talking for itself that something is definitely different in the clinic. Besides us seeing the atmosphere and the environment, but the numbers are talking.
No, not for now. I do support that move, sisters. Akis, when a colleague,
no, I definitely do. I'm gonna argue against everything.
I'm just saying.
I definitely agree.
Yeah,
I definitely agree. South Africans need to take first preference, and it's
not right. It's not friendship. And then what about Nakongwe to be the mother of everyone? It's not nice, because now you need your own children, and then you go to the next door children to say, no, let me give them food. My kids are starving.
Yeah.
It's not. It is not hate for our own black brothers, and this goes to everybody who is a foreigner. If you are white, you are green, you are purple, you are Indian, you are whatever. It goes to all of them. It's not a matter of only Nigerians and not who are black like us. It's
also
a matter of
the
everybody else.
Even if you're from England.
Exactly. If you're not a foreigner here, you come and do nonsense, we're going to be on top of you. So that's how it is. So the response to Bomen Nese when that was Bonang and then Bonabaring, are they happy? What's up?
Now what I can tell you, the South African patients are happy. The South African health workers are happy.
Yeah.
And that makes me happy.
All right.
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
That's the person who matters, the South Africans. So that's the priority.
For me.
Yeah.
For me, yes.
No, for Leno Suaka, you deserve this. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for standing up, hey?
You really are making a difference.
Yeah, and encouraging people.
Yeah. You know, the first time I saw this lady was one of the raids.
Okay.
That's the first time I saw this woman who is very brave and go in with no fear. I'm like, this one, I want her next to me.
Like
I want this one next to me forever.
Yes.
Because at least, when you have people like her, those are real rocks.
We need more brave people.
I understand that. So, Usbona, enough on Nashem. I'm thinking I've got your back. Every time, everywhere, my sisters, whatever, we are there. We are available for you guys.
Thank you very much, Doc.
Yeah, and please apologize to other ladies when I could not join them in because I could not do a WhatsApp conference call.
Unfortunately.
Because of network is very weak to it. I don't know what's happening. But tell them, and
there will be other opportunities. Moeloring will get into this conversation and hear in from them.
Why, Bon? Okay, Usuaka, thank you so much.
No, I will inform them.
Yeah, also Bon, bye Itrukitemus. And then bye
I fell in with this conversation. I feel like the foreigners are going to keep coming. We're going to keep fighting it. And we're going to keep talking about it on this platform. So we're going to get into it in future. Thank you so much.
Sisters, have a lovely night.
Thank you very much.
Love
Thank
you,
dear. Cheers. All right, bye. Yeah, I was born Spolani. I think. Akit, utlang potene mari. Get
Yeah.
this Polani, Svansaha, Kimutuan.
Okay.
So yeah, they're doing that.
Yeah.
Tell me, give me your honest opinion. Wait,
No,
what do you think about this one? Or anybody who high? Are we xenophobic? Are we hateful?
Yeah. No, like come quite feeling. You can tell that she really is seeing the problem and dealing with it firsthand.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Locally. She's seeing the matter at hand and she's addressing it. I feel like it's fair. There's no violence, there's no killings. I'm definitely not for violence or aggressiveness, hence why I delved into xenophobia and what happens out there, because killings are a real thing.
But remember, violence will come when violence is being initiated by somebody.
Yeah.
It won't be horrible. No,
it doesn't 100%.
If it's when you wake up in the morning and say out and you fight us. Remember what they did in Johannesburg? Yeah, I was burning.
Share it with us.
When there was an insurrection of a sort in this country of ours.
Yeah.
When foreigners were beating police in Joburg. I'm like, huh?
Who are you?
See? So that kind of violence. Here na respond in kind. It's not xenophobic. It's you saying Watel. You wanna come to my house and beat up my father and I leave and kill okay, it's fine. Hanka better can also xenophobic.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna beat you down as well.
There are other countries where you fear for your life. You will not mess with the citizens that stay there. But people come here, they're very comfortable. They're like, I can do what I like and there's not going to be any measures. However,
what?
He's been there since he's been a South African citizen since 1999, right? Yeah. So I want to give another example, right? Yes. Very popular Elon Musk. He's a South African, right? Born here.
Yes.
And then he did what? They traveled. Yes, they moved to America, and he only got citizenship at 2005. He has American and Canadian citizenship, right? And Elon Musk is one of the most powerful people in America. He has top positions there, right? So if he's been given those opportunities as somebody who was a foreign, if they looked at the fact that, you know what, Oksalayo, you are South African in like origins, and then we're not going to acknowledge your merit, your credit, how long you've been here, the fact that you've actually gotten citizenship, whether it's through naturalization or marriage, however it is, we're going to disregard everything and not give you these opportunities purely because you're South African.
Okay.
What then?
Let's take it back. America is not a country of white people.
Okay.
All of them are immigrants.
Okay.
All of them are immigrants. That's why they can do that.
Okay.
And they're still racist enough to allow him as a white South African with too much money to come and dictate to them what to do.
I hear you.
They've got no leg to stand and say, you are a South African. They are all immigrants.
I hear you.
From Trump to every white person there, they are all immigrants. That is why they can do whatever they're doing now.
Yeah, because I saw like Australians, New Zealanders, all of them, they can hire foreign nationals in the public sector. Yep. So if it's an African context, it's a different situation.
It's a problem. Difference and people can tell me if I'm wrong, right? Africa was colonized for a long time, many years, by different European countries, Belgium, England, France. Shame, 1960s was a revolution in the whole Africa. Yeah. When African countries were getting their independence. Okay. When those foreign powers, they left. They went back to Europe and then they left. Whatever that they left behind, it's fine. And then they gave those African countries money, reparations to build themselves up and to make sure they go for education. They trained their ministers, they trained people. They took people literally from Burkina Faso to France to go and get trained in statesmanship or in governance, to come back and govern the country. Yeah. We never got that. South African black people, 1910, the country went from the British to the Afrikaners. Okay, other white people who made sure they're going to exclude us more. We were excluded before, Britain. Yeah. But then after that, they excluded us more than that. You understand what I'm saying? So we never got a break. All right, we never got 30 years. 30 years can never make you as educated as a Zimbabwean is.
Difference.
Yes, that is why now we're still struggling to even say to Banabarina, like the FET, it's fine, go so long as you got in our school.
Sure.
Because we are still struggling to get to that at that upper level. Now we have all these highly educated, experienced Africans who come down here. And they find there's still white people who still own those companies. Who will hire them cheap labor because they know that you don't have papers. I'm not going to have to pay you UIF or anything else that is required by law. Exactly. So they hire them and they put them in this system. Do you understand what I'm saying? And now South African government paying back their own loans in a sense. They were in Zambia, struggle. Hey, Zambians. Now they say, okay, it's fine. We'll compromise somehow and put other people from your country to this. But you can never put somebody from Nigeria in the army or the police. Dada Morero, the now mayor of Johannesburg, we almost killed him. He said to us, no, we need to hire foreign national internationals in the metropolis because we are struggling with interpretation. I'm like, that's a lousy argument. Take the very black South African police and train them in Swahili.
Educate them.
And train them in any other language bring them back. We don't have to bring a Swahili person to come and work in a system. This is sensitive departments, police, army, intelligence. You can't do that.
You're right.
Because you don't know this person is a spy. He has been brought into the country to come and say, go spy in South Africa. Intelligence. Then he'll know every secret we have. And he leaks it to the US or leaks it to his own country. And tomorrow we are bombed. You don't know how come. Because the person just emailed all the war planes, all the radar that's not working. Or radar.
They will not catch on. Service Act 1994, which prioritizes South Africans. It's very clear. It's a law. It's stated. And South Africans should take priority when it comes to employment. They get the permanent opportunities. And then the foreigners get the temporary positions. Foreign services in the hospitals as well. It should be like that. And I am for that. Right? Because we need to uplift the people in this country first before you uplift Bakwantle. You know, so it's very important to look at the fact that if we are enriching the other people first before ourselves, it is detrimental to our own country, right? So I want to pose this question to people who are listening and to you as well, right? So here's the scenario, okay? Where we have a foreigner, for example, or Kgosi, for example, to make it more personal.
Yes.
At 17 years, you traveled to South Africa. Right? It was just you. You built a family, whether it was through naturalization or through marriage. You had a family, you have your own child. Your child was born here. Right? Took him or her to school, got their degree, got their honors, got their masters, got their PhD, whatever qualification as far as it goes. And now they're looking for opportunities, right? Here's an interview panel, right? And we spoke about this. So we have like 15 people. 14 of them are South African.
Is that position needs that doctorate or that PhD or that degree? That's the first you must understand. Or does that job need that? Hence the critical skill thing comes. If it does need that, there's a lot of South Africans out